Hello, my lovelies. Elsie here to do a collective singles reading. How are you, my single friends? I hope you're well. Thank you for clicking here. If you are brand new and this is the first time you're viewing a video at Ten of Cups Tarot, thank you for clicking here. I appreciate you. I don't know if you noticed, but we like to be in the comments talking to each other. I like to be in the comments. That's where I am, answering comments and speaking amongst you. So thank you for being in the comments. I really enjoy that. Thank you for your thumbs up, the way that you love on this channel. I appreciate you so much. So whether you're brand new or you've been here for a while, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, here we go. This is for the collective. So I'm not time stamping this because it's not for any one energy. It's not for the individual energies. It's for the whole damn lot of ya. Yeah, it's for the whole collective. I'll call it the signs and symbols as I need to in order for you to understand what's going on. And then we will just take it with the oracles. We'll throw some tarot at it and see what we come up with. Tell me what's going on in the singles energy collective, please. Single energy. Tell me what is going on. Tell me about the singles. Okay, we've got two cards that have flipped. We've got flow and purity. I like it. The card when you're in the flow, it's like you're out of the doorway finally. You stop playing traffic cop. You're out of the doorway and into the flow. I like it. So I want to say that you worry less. I want to see that your eyes have been open to something that you didn't see before. And although I think that your eye was open and there's kind of I think there's like a spotlight on something. If you don't know about this information, this may be coming up. And I think that maybe life was moving too fast or it was too loud in order for you to see this. Whatever it is, something's going to become clear. It's like there's a spotlight on something in the darkness. You're going to see it loud and clear. But I want to say that the only reason that you're allowed to see it or you can see it is because you're now out of the doorway. You stop stopping people from leaving your life. You stop stopping people from arriving, right? It feels like you're in the flow now here. What do we got in the bottom? Bottom of the deck, we have enlightenment. I like it. Yeah. It's the purity. Yeah. You're in the flow and you trust it. You trust that you're at the beginning of something really great. I want to say that you're a seer, that you are a seer of things. It's like, well, maybe you have a clearer view though, because I see that I'm looking at this. It looks like it might be a coyote or a wolf looking over the trees, like the bird's eye view. So I feel like whatever has slowed down in your life, or it's become quiet, or you're by yourself a lot, or you have time for life to slow down, there's things that you're realizing while you're in the flow. I think you're seeing things clearer because we've got a lot of violet here, which is the third eye energy. And you've had some sort of an enlightenment about taking action in love, possibly. All right. Somebody might be taking action. Let's find out what's going on here. I want to say that this, being in the flow is kind of it's a mastery, right? Being in the flow and letting things be as they are, my friends, is a mastery. It really is. Because, for most of our lives, and you can probably pinpoint those times in your own life, that how many times that we tried to make someone stay with us. We didn't want them to go. We tried really hard, and in that, it ended up crashing and burning. Yeah. Because when you have a need for something, you treat it differently than if you want it. So I feel like you're no longer in need because you're in the flow. You see things clearly. We've got acceptance. I love it. Leaving things as they are. Allowing things to be as they are. Rather than trying to direct them in the doorway, direct them out of the doorway, asking them to sit over there. It feels like the acceptance of it's going to be what it's going to be. I feel like there's something that's coming up. Like this all says clarity to me. Even though you were in the dark, you have an acceptance that you were in the dark. And when you know better, you do better. Maya Angelou taught us that for decades, right? We don't always do good things, but when we know better, we do better. Because now you can see. You can see that there's a need for acceptance here. It says accept the past and current situations. The past and the current situations. Work through issues gracefully. I feel like you have a bird's eye view. You have more clarity about something. We have evaluation. Okay, so somebody is evaluating how they move in the world, I think. It says feed out what does not serve you. Reevaluate the situation. I think you're becoming clear about something, about maybe a person that you were in contact with last in an emotional way. Possibly you're becoming far clearer about what it is that you really want and how much effort you want to put into all of the relationships that you have. Because be clear about this. There's not everybody that you have relationships with is not giving equally to you. No. But I think now you're going to allow the flow, and you know what happens? People come and people go. And I think that you're going to wait and see who waters the plants. And when the plants die and you know that you were the one keeping them watered all along, I think you're going to make some different choices, because now you're seeing things clearer from the bird's eye view. There's an evaluation going on, I feel. Yeah. We have expansion, pursue bigger and greater endeavors. I want to say whatever you were arguing with here before you got into the flow, I think is you were fighting the expansion. Because in the expansion, you have to accept a few things. Now, these are not just things about other people. If you're still blaming it on everyone else, then you have no self-awareness. I believe that the acceptance is, I'm the only one who is the constant one thing in all of the relationships that went wrong. Let me look at those and see where I went wrong. It's an expansion. It's pursuing bigger things and greater endeavors. Being in the flow, showing acceptance, seeing things from the bird's eye view, and moving structures and reevaluating and moving this way or that way accordingly, depending on what you see from the bird's eye view. Whoo-wee. Bringing me the energy, are you? I'm just trying to keep up. I'm just trying to keep up with your energy, y'all. These all signs readings are pretty wild. I try and keep this car on the road, but sometimes there's like all kinds of energies coming in from all over the place, right? Because it is collective. Just trying to keep on the path here. All right, let's talk about the flow. We're going to throw some tarot at it, see what's going on here. Tell me about the flow. What do we need to know about the flow? What does the collective singles need to know about the flow? Just going to pick them up. Nothing flipped. What do the collective singles need to know about the flow? Thank you. That you're in charge. You've always been in charge of the flow. The King of Wands is here, Leo at the back, right? This person is a person of action, moving forward. I'm taking action because it is now the thing that is powering my passion. I think what's powering your passion is that you've realized that you don't have to go to every fight you are invited to. You don't have to help every person out of the mud pit. Sometimes they keep putting themselves back in. It's time for them to learn how to crawl out. It's an evaluation after clarity and spending time by yourself where it's quiet. I think you're the one that's in charge. You're the one that's in charge of the flow. That's it. You're in charge of the flow. You're not in charge of who comes in and out the door. You're just in charge of your flow. Keeping yourself open, keeping your eye on things. I feel like you're supposed to look under the light for things in the dark. I think it's important to do that. We have acceptance. Yeah, it's a growth. Like we're all in different growth patterns, and that's the thing. It's a total acceptance of that. We've got the accept past and current situations, work through issues gracefully. And I think that the Seven of Pentacles, we're throwing the intentions, like we're now intentionally, we've got intentions on the Pentacles, and now we're actually earmarking them for something. And it might be growth, and it might be more Pentacles. It might be that you're waiting for the perfect time or the right time. But I feel like this acceptance here comes out of growth, and that's what I'm getting off the Seven of Pentacles. It comes from the growth, the carefully guided growth. I feel like you're in the flow, and that's where your passion is to be in this place where there's no drama, You're not sticking your nose in anyone else's drama. You're staying in your lane. You're allowing people to come and go when they want to. It's an acceptance of the present moment, radical acceptance of, if it all just stays the way it is, I'm going to be okay with it. I hope it gets better. The Seven of Pentacles is, I feel like there's growth to be had here. The acceptance is the growth. Because I'm telling you, there's not a lot of people. If there's more people who would radically accept the present moment as it is and be okay with it, we'd have a lot more thin people on the earth for sure. Because what the diet places like to do is make you hate your body, hate yourself. But the radical acceptance is, I love myself for who I am. I've been blessed with this vessel I've come here in. It protects my soul. And it's the radical acceptance of the present moment, no matter if it's weight loss or love or what it is, that allows you to see everything for what it truly is, purely, without people telling you what it's supposed to mean, without people making suggestions to you about it, what it's supposed to mean. You see everything clearly. And I think what you see clearly is the ones that are coming at you for just one thing, just for passion. That's it. I think you have a detector, feminine or masculine. I think you are now with a little more self-respect for yourself, or the purity of the clarity, seeing everything for what it is, the radical acceptance of it had to happen the way it did. We needed it to have growth. And I think the growth is that you now see people coming at you in the dating world. You don't got time for this. You see them for who they are, and you don't have time for this. You're like, next. Yeah. So the evaluation, feed out what doesn't serve you, reevaluate the situation. Here we go. It's courage, strength, learning when to hold back and when to take the lead. Got Leo here as well. You could be dealing with someone who is Leo. All right, let me clarify just a little bit, see what's going on here. King of Wands could be a person for you. You could be the King of Wands, right? In a general reading, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. The Strength card is Leo. Of course, we've got Earth and Fire here as well. We've got the Seven of Swords. It's hiding in the future here. Some worry. Why? Because you feel the rumble of the tower in the distance. You feel it coming. That may have sounded a little more sinister than it needed to be, but look, you feel it. You already know. You can feel it. The Hierophant's here. You might be Taurus, maybe you're Scorpio, or dealing with one of those energies, but there is the Seven of Swords and the Nine of Swords here. Somebody's trying to keep it cool on the surface. Meanwhile, they know that this is inevitable. The tower is going to fall. I feel like the worry stops. I feel like somebody feels like they got to tell the truth about something. Oh, they got to tell truth about their feelings. Somebody's worried about it though. They're wondering if you're dating other people, or if maybe you're just dating and not willing to settle down. This person, I feel, gives you reciprocity. So I feel like you have a coffee with them, maybe dinner. It could be someone that you've dated. Definitely doesn't have to be, but I feel like it's someone that you already know. It's Pentacle stuff. You worry because you already feel the rumblings of the tower. Now, I want to say the tower's in the reverse. It is the inevitability that there is going to be upheaval and change. And I think you're worried about it. That it might, it's going to bring feelings to the surface. It sure is. That's what this full moon in Pisces is about, right? Somebody's hiding their feelings here. I don't know if it's you or someone else. I feel like that's coming to the surface here. I think that's the reason why you had to learn about the flow. Because when you get into a relationship and you don't know it's a karmic relationship and you keep holding on to that person even though they want to leave, that's when it starts to crash and burn. That's when it's good to know about the flow. Get out of the doorway. If that person wants to go, let them figure out that they miss you or want to come back. Let them figure out that they don't want it at all and that they want to leave. But you can't block your flow because it blocks your view of acceptance and working through issues. which is growth. We have the Hermit energy. We have Virgo. If you are the King of Wands, I feel like you have been the person who's been learning about the flow. You could be a Virgo, you don't have to be. But I feel as though you are seeing some things clearer than you used to. And I think it's because you've slowed down a little bit. Like this all is an indication of slowing down, right? The Hermit, going into hermit mode or self-preservation mode to slow down. Look for your light. This could possibly be the light, right? We've got the flow. There's a third eye that's opening. We've got a lot of violet there. And we can see that somebody has eureka, right? Somebody has a moment of clarity here. And I think that the universe has slowed you down so you can grow. It takes time to have acceptance of the current moment. It takes time to learn that. It's probably one of my hardest lessons. It takes time to learn that. It also takes time to learn about the purity, right? Seeing things from the highest view and now seeing everything for what it is. Yeah. You know what? That feels like karma to me. And I want to tell you why. Because it feels like you may have been someone who was giving others instability possibly in relationships in the past, or somebody who's maybe quite codependent. I want to say that the karma here is now you see it coming. So, you know, maybe you might be the one who would just go out and you would date that one or date this one, but now, because you've learned the lessons, you see it coming and you can't unsee it. So you know that that person's not right for you immediately. And that's kind of a karma thing. You learn the lesson, and because you learn the lesson, now you see it everywhere. So I think what your pure vision is about this. You can see the ones coming for miles and miles, the ones that are just coming temporarily to rock your world and not give you any stability. I think you can smell those ones coming. Yeah. We've got the Seven of Wands. Got some sevens here. Sevens are always about divine things for me. Look at that. We have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Yeah, I'm going to say that this is something that was like overnight. It was in a moment. It was like you come out of the flow, or you're in the flow here, and I feel like there is an acceptance of, yeah, I may have been that in the past, so now I can't unsee it. And now every person that comes at me, I can see this first, and I know that even though they're beautiful or adorable or handsome or rich or whatever it is, or you know, somebody who seems like a great candidate, you see this right away. Yeah. So there's no more playing games here. You don't have to. You have the clarity that you've always wanted. It's a blessing and a curse, right? We've got the Page of Swords, and we've got the Five of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we've got the King of Pentacles. Why? Because of the Wheel of Fortune. Money is about to be off the chain for you, my friend, and you don't see it coming. There's something coming, maybe a job offer, or maybe your pentacles are going to swell. I feel like maybe you leave them out in the rain and they swell. But the King of Pentacles, I'm just seeing this as rain. Yeah. The King of Pentacles is the person who doesn't really have to go out and find their abundance. The abundance finds them. They do have the Midas touch. Everything that they touch turns to gold. I think that's what's coming here. You don't see it. I feel like you're about to drop a big bunch of burdens here in favor of this energy, love energy. I feel like you're no longer worried about the past, that maybe you've finally cut this last heartstring from the past here. I don't think you're worried about that anymore. I think that what you don't see is that your pentacles are about to be great. Your home, your hearth, maybe you're moving. But the Wheel of Fortune is all the most amazing things. It's abundance. It's all of your expansion. So the Wheel of Fortune, right? Fortunate things, divinely guided. This is a fated moment and you don't see it coming. I kind of like it. I like the surprise. I like the surprise aspect. Maybe you don't like to be surprised. Okay, so I feel like because you now see this lesson of the Knight of Wands through a different lens, I feel as though you are, you've now learned it, right? Because right. Hang on a sec here. The student's ready, the teacher appears, and I think it's a lesson that you've learned. I feel like you, through this evaluation of your life, you're speaking courageously about that. About, I'm waiting. I'm no longer getting suckered in by the Knight of Wands because they smell good, look good, and they're incredibly, beautifully smoldery kind of sexy, right? Yeah. There's something beautiful that happens to men in their 40s and up. I say that just because I'm a feminine attracted to men, so. But you may agree with me anyway. All right, so what I want to say is stand your ground on this acceptance, I think is what you're supposed to know. Stand your ground on this acceptance. I feel like your growth is important, and there's going to be many more lessons like this, but I feel like this is the first one. The first one is, no, I'm not playing with that anymore. I'm not dabbling with the Knight of Wands. That's no stability for me. Now I've learned that lesson, but I'm going to dig deeper a little bit, but I feel like you're seeing it clearly now. There's a deep evaluation going on in your life right now. This doesn't look like it has anything to do with anyone who's in love with you. I'm sorry about that, but I feel like this is really important information for you, because once you learn this lesson of getting out of the doorway and into the flow, things are much easier when you have this acceptance of, look, I'm just a work in progress. I'm growing. I'm just going to stand my ground on my growth. And I feel like things are so clear to you now. You're learning lessons all the time because you're open to the lessons. Look, if the Page of Swords is telling you that there is a message coming, it could be from someone who is a Leo that didn't give you much stability. I don't think that you're going to be mean to them, but I think you're going to be very honest with them, because you've done an evaluation here. I think that you're deciding that this is a vibration you'd rather be in. You don't want to be here not because it's a bad vibration to be in, but only because it never leads anywhere. And I think what you want is long-term. Pentacles. I don't think you're into short stints of anything lately. Tell me, what is the challenge, please, for this reading? What's the challenge in this energy? The biggest challenge for the collective, please. Transformation. There it is. Yeah. So the thing is, too, is I feel like as I feel energy, I feel like it's kind of like when you're pulling out of one vibration, going to the next vibration or the next level, whatever way you choose to look at it. It feels like there's a pulling away. At a point, it's like everything is overlapping, and that's how I kind of see a cusp. At some point, everything is overlapping until you really pull away from the old vibration. But understand, the old vibration is always wanting to take you back, and it's easy to go back there. So we're doing kind of a cha-cha, right? Or a waltz, back and forth until you finally break away, and I think that's this point right here. That you finally break away from the old vibration and you realize with this radical acceptance that you're never going to settle for any less than who you are. You're not going to settle for anything less than your level of understanding. I feel like you're into kings and queens now. There's no more pages to work with here. That you've decided that the pages are the one that come in as the Knight of Wands. Sometimes the page is disguised as the Knight of Wands, and you don't figure that out until later, but I think this is your karma. I think the transformation is you now see this coming, and because you see it, it's like you can't unsee it. So I think what's coming for you is transformation. Tell me about the transformation. Oh. So it's the end of dragging your heels. It's the end of indecision or feeling like there's competition, too much competition out there. I'll never find my person. Elsie, there's too much competition. It's the end of the Four of Pentacles. I feel like you're becoming more open, willing to share, becoming more vulnerable. Also that maybe you're going to stop holding on to things so tightly, because when you're holding on to things so tightly, Four of Pentacles, You know, not letting anything in, nothing gets out, but you're also telling the universe, I don't trust that you're bringing me anything else, so I'm just going to hold on here. The thing is we know that there's 10 pentacles, and those 10 pentacles are pretty wonderful. So it's almost like you can block your own energy if you decide not to transform. The moon here is Cancer and Pisces energy. I want to say that there is transformation here, and there are a lot of things that you are going to see in this moment of purity, acceptance, and flow. There are a lot of things that you are going to see or begin to come to the knowledge of that were hiding in the moon energy. So this is all about realization for you, my friend. I think that as a single person, you might start looking around you at the connections that you have and say, okay, well, what if I am attracting what I am, and that person is a narcissist and this and that and terrible. Look, y'all, you are attracting your vibration, and that's the truth of it. You don't get what you want. When you manifest, you don't get what you want, you get what you are. Take a look around you and find out who your closest connections are. Or where are you spending your energy, your mental energy? It's all about lessons. It's not about doing good or bad or wrong or right. It's all about lessons. So we're here to get those lessons. It's all about the healing, my friends. We've got the Three of Swords underneath the deck. There's the King of Wands. Okay. You could be the King of Wands, or maybe the King of Wands is your friend. I think there's some regret here. If you are the King of Wands, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, I think there is some regret. You don't want to have any regret anymore about this that went down. It feels like some overwhelming heartache or heartbreak. I don't want to feel guilty anymore. I'm going to use one of my aces. So I want to find love. It's time to make connections. The Page of Pentacles is here. Got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer energy here. Yeah, I don't want to have any regret in the heart space anymore. It's too overwhelming. I don't want to live with overwhelming heartbreak or heartache anymore, or disappointment. It's time to be the magician. It's time to turn this boat around. The King of Cups is here. I feel like somebody is about to show their feelings in the 3D to you. Someone who could be earth sign, doesn't have to be, but someone you had an ending with. Someone who is confident, taking care of themselves, doing their own thing. It might be someone that you had an ending with, and it might have been a terrible ending. All right. I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much for coming here and watching. I do appreciate you. Always would love to hear from you in the comments and find out if this is your reading, because this is a very different reading from all the other readings. I kind of liked it, though. It's a lot of good information. I'm going to go for now. Thank you so much, Collective, for watching. I am out, and I'll be back, because I'm always back. Love you guys. Bye.